Okay. So, there is one more trick which I will show you how to go to that place. When you start to write about it, when you build a plan, drawing of your inner temple, write a sigil or symbol which do not exist. In that paper, it will be part of your inner temple, so you can use it as a doorway from a regular dream once when you find yourself in a lucid dream. Why? Because if you are aware in a lucid dream, you don't need to stop lucid dream to return yourself to the body, then to go to the void and losing time. No, once you find yourself in a lucid dream, you can escape to your astral temple like in any other teleportation destination. Expect when you are using the door, you will never be able to do it. I don't know why. Travel method through the doors, opening with destination. When you talk destination and open the door behind your back, remember we talk, it will not work with the inner temple. You need to do only one little change. Remember the sigil or symbol that I wanted to print or draw in the paper? You will draw with your finger symbol above the door, like the number of apartment in your door before your room. But in this way it will be symbol which will be only knowledgeable by you. Don't share this the shape of it, not because people can disturb you or make you hurt. No, there is no place for anybody else in your inner temple than you. In fact, you will be there so different than you are here that it will change your consciousness forever. Because you are not what you are here. You are what you will be there. That's the point. But I don't want to interrupt your way of thinking, because now you are expecting to say something more and more, so your reactive mind will scrutinize everything and spoil all the fun. But I will not do that. I will leave you to do this with your own practice. So, draw the little sign on the door and after that say that you are visiting your inner temple, and then open the door behind back. The same method. Step from it, close and turn. When you turn, you will be there. But once again, it will not work if you don't put a sign, something which is connected as a link, as a page of internet using a link. That will be mostly in graphical symbol. Now, don't put a symbol which usually exists, because if you do that, you will go to the realm where that symbol will lead you. If you are doing the sign of Jupiter or Venus, no matter how Jupiterius or Venus's your astral realm is, you will not reach your astral realm when you open the door. You will go to the sphere of Jupiter or sphere of fire, Venus, earth, water. Whatever you do, you will go, because your mind will know that it is not your symbol. It will give you something which exists. Remember when I speak about the third way, where your personal inner temple, it's neither fake reality nor real realistic place. It is something between. So real for you, but so false for the whole universe. It will be so false with your mind, because it will know it is not happening, it is not real. And in that way, it cannot give you autoimmune bodies against it. It will think that this plate is just fairy tale. For you, it's not. When you go to that place, first thing, try, as we say, to put rooms. Maybe construct, I will give you examples what you can do. You will do as you wish. One room for meditation. Just for meditation. You will see how wonderful meditation in this space will be. You will don't have disturbance of a mind, because your mind will be deeply asleep. You will not have a problem with thoughts, because part of a mind which will giving you ordinary thoughts, troubles, scratches, itches, worrying, will be sleeping. You will not be that part of a mind. Everything will be so easy. Imagining yourself when you have a weight, and imagining when you are 30 kilograms better weighting, when you lose weight, how better movement you have. Imagining how better movement without real thoughts and real ego will be in that space. You can do everything at any your, how to say, meditations, but we will talk about some tips which I can give you, which move me in a way that any other meditations could not reach an inch close to that. You can do and build room for rituals. You will have all possible combination of elemental weapons, the corridors, circles, triangles, everything that exists for ceremonial magic. You can have a room for invocations, where you can meet and talk with the guides, which will help you to overcome some problems. We will talk everything specifically about each room. Now, a room for Tantra. It is very, very interesting, because the mind, which is aroused when you have sexual intercourse, is in fact electrical impulse through your spine, moving your, I don't know in male and female what is called when you have contractions of orgasm, which is in fact very easily to press inside of a dream. Believe me, there is no better feeling than having sex in that part of a mind. It is 100 times better in this reality. You will not have problems with erection, orgasm, prolonged and painful, movements. Any problems which most people from time to time have in intercourse, you will not have them, because all these problems are usually connected with body and the mind, a neurosis. And in that place, neurosis will not reach. Simply, it will be foreign country where your neurosis will not have a visa. It will be forbidden for your neurosis to come and develop in that place. For me, best way you can have a tantra. Imagine yourself in a opposite gender. If you are preference of opposite gender sex, if you are opposite for gay sex, for you, I'm not making any distinction, not to feel anybody conflicted. If you are preferring to have a lover in some part, imagining that it is you with who you make love. Imagining that you can make love with yourself in opposite gender. How wonderful it will be. Lucid dreaming, and especially your inner temple, will be best place for experimenting sexual desires with your own self, with your own perversions, your own sexual games, everything that you want to experience, but unfortunately you marry with an idiot and you don't have possibility to have a good time with your wife or with your husband. So, my wife simply don't feel enjoyment in sex anymore. She start to complain. No, I'm just telling spiritual aspect, not historical, spiritual. She's complaining that I talk about her. So I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, don't worry. They know that you are very good in sex. So, the main method, how you will reach your selfhood, waiting you in a bed, in a room. Remember what I show you in the north part, you can build it in anywhere. When you want to open the door of your tantra room, you are speaking the wish, the same as for teleport, that you want to meet yourself in an opposite gender, waiting yourself in a bed. And when you open the door, what you will see, you will remember for the rest of your life. Now, you don't know how you look like in your ideal form, in your inner eye, in an opposite sex, in which you can make intercourse with. And what you will see when you open the door, I think you will need a couple of days so you can clarify your thoughts and continue to work normally. Imagine something the most beautiful that exists in a flash, and that is you. Because you have ideal soulmate, because you know yourself, just invert that so you can play with yourself. Not in masturbation, but in spiritual way. So, sometimes I use totally wrong English words. But then again, I'm starting to improve during time. But you understand what I want to speak. Please don't believe people who are speaking about wasting an energy in a dream so you can have incubus, succubus, demons. Imagine how much jerking, fucking, and each day of your life imagining that you are fucking somebody else. Why would this would be different? We are wasting our energy all our life. If you want to waste your energy, then waste it for good, for your pleasure. If that is the way you will create a demon, then let it be. Play with that demon. Don't serve them. Don't let them serve you. Make them play with you. Like toys, like children playing a Lego with stars and planets, constructing the whole universe. Be a good pal, a friend with them. Don't distinct yourself with this energy like good or bad. There is no good or bad energy. There is only good or bad way of using the energy, which is always neutral. In that place, there will be no moral or ethics. You will do exactly everything what will need for your being to be aroused. So you can have an ultimate not knowledge, but joy, ultimate pleasure in all aspects, not only spiritual. Don't think that final body realization is different than final spiritual finalization. Final realization is the same. Either it is a bodily or spiritually. Our mind, it's exactly one who are making distinctions. So you can have excuse to say, okay, this woman have big tits, but I'm much smarter than her. No, you are exactly what you need to be, as you and as she. Don't make distinction so you can take statistics that you need for your weakness to show you that you are special. You are not special because of your weakness. You are special because of you. And you have that weakness. And you have need to live with them, to be with them. So try to understand this place of inner sanctum as a place of all your bonuses, pluses and minuses together. It is not divine. Sometime it will be from hell. And you will have energy and situations which will not be so pleasant. But it is a part of your being. So please don't forget it or don't put it under the carpet. Live with it. You need to reach all this memory and emotions which are part of a very secret small part of your brain now having possibility to come to the surface. Most of everything don't fear, and don't let fear control what you will do or not. What other books will tell you what should you do or what you should not do. Any other aspirants, even if I will tell you or what you should do or not to do. Do everything that is suits you. I'm giving you a place where you can do everything. How much of that everything can you experience? Can you hold? Is it everything for you? Probably not. Where is your limit? Try to find that limit in this experimental laboratory. It is not a place for you so you can meet yourself and fly and invoke demons. You need to reach to the core of the universe and to meet with yourself, to play with yourself, not to know yourself. Know yourself, it's a contradictory term. Meet yourself. This is quite more natural, but quite more distant. Knowing yourself, it's so far away that each imbecile can say know yourself without any knowing of what that idea means. It is so abstract that anybody can say it, and we can all follow the path of knowing ourselves. But are you able to talk with yourself? Are you able to meet yourself and to enjoy in that company? This is my question to you. Not if you are able to go to lucid dream. Are you able to fulfill that dream in this reality? To make that lucid not in a dream, but to be lucid in awakeness. That's a real point and real attainment for me. To have lucid awakening and no lucid dreaming. All these are excuses of our being not to grasp a moment to be with yourself. Everything, all this are black magic if you are not using for your own attainment or enlightenment, as it is widely accepted as a term. There is a special way of getting the knowledge in a spiritual library. And this is like in teleport, I need to talk about it when you are putting invocation and evocation of entities, intelligence, ghost beings, kings, angels, archangels, seraphims, and so on, demons as well. And the method of their invocation or evocation, depending on which kind of entity you are dealing with, it's quite easy. You don't need to read invocations, prayers, meditations to do to get yourself into the trance, because you are already in that state. You just need to be aware of where is that intelligence, and it is always behind your back. What it means? Remember the strategy of a teleport with door. If we are speaking that I want to go to the moon, if I open the door, moon will never be before me. I need to open the door with my back, so my mind cannot construct reality before me, because before me it's my control. I can see it, so I can have control of it. But what I cannot see, it's not part of me. So the part of a brain who was constructing before taking the care behind me, it's the main constructor here. When I want to invoke intelligence, I just speak name only once, not twice, not 5 times, only once. And then I just turn my head 180 degrees behind me. Now, the real invocation, the method of invocation, it's not when I say the name. It is exactly in that movement of taking behind my back point, because I'm losing the will of my forehand before me reality, and I'm changing to something which is behind me. In that time I already projected entity behind me, but I need only time to see it. In this couple of moments, my mind is doing exactly, when you remember what I'm speaking about the elevator, when you're going down, not seeing what is all around you, you are sensing that you are going down, you are waiting, you are not expecting, you are passive, and your mind is active, building everything around you so you cannot see it. This is exactly the same mechanism with very one little difference. You speak a name which you need to invoke. So your mind don't have excuses to give you a hell, like in the elevator. He don't have, like in computer science, you give him a command and hit enter. Now you are only waiting for process to be finished. That's it. But not before you, behind you. Now, when I speak, let me say Michael, Archangel Michael. Very simple. You don't need to speak, I want to invoke great Archangel Michael, because this is the way of your rational mind. wanted to everything to be so pompous and very big and very boring. No, be very direct. I love you. I hate you. I want to fuck you. I don't want you to see any time in my life. I want to eat. I want to sleep. I want to go out. I want to go to cinema. Very, very simple. Michael, speak the name. When you turn, you will see, try it in this reality. When you start to move, your mind will start to wander. You will lose the focus because your mind is get usual to see things before. But when you are doing this movement, your mind will lose ropes like ship holding itself to the shore. You will break the ties and you will start to expect something to happen which is already awaiting you behind your head. And when you are doing in a lucid dream, especially in your inner temple, you will see Archangel in full color, light and glory few seconds after you speak his name. No matter how much hard you are trying to invoke him to come before you, you can do it with all rituals that you are reading from the books. Whatever you want, it will never come before you. Well, it can if you have strong will, but even if he come, it will be part of your rational mind. It will be a virus in a program of your ego, which eventually will destroy the lucid dream, leading you not to the knowledge, but to the knowledge of ego, which is not the knowledge, but ignorance. It will give you what he expects you need to have, not what you really need. So, remember the first day when we speak about contradictional way and opposite way of thinking. This is exactly the practical meaning what you need to do. Difference between realization of planting a proper idea in a lucid dream is in wrong way could be a couple of minutes, in a right way the same method with full success and attainment with crystal clarity will be maybe 3 seconds, not more. All teleport, all invocation, everything which will later speak, especially rituals and meditations, and I will speak about some tricks, don't deserve more than 5 seconds because you are already there. You don't need to have method. Method is just a lever of your ego, but it is obstacle for the selfhood. What is easy for ego, it's hard for selfhood. There is nothing easier than truth. But how much people you know that they know the truth? It is totally paradoxical way of life. The more we are starving for spirituality, more distance we feel toward enlightenment. How is that? The more clever you feel in life, the more misery and pain you will be. There is a statement in my country saying how it is nice to be stupid. Everything is perfect. I believe my wife is not cheating me. She believes in me that I am not cheating her. I believe in my government. I believe that my kids are rising in a good manner. I believe in school education system, that school will give me a knowledge. I believe that humanity is starving to be too good, and everything is nice. Everything. And that's the point of life. I will die and that's it. Think about it. think. It's very simple. The more simple it is, the more enlightenment it is. We don't need complex thing, but totally relevantly simple. Truth, it's not far away, but here. So, for a bot invocation, remember, say name one time and then expect to see that name behind. There is, just to say, to have this. There is special way of invocating yourself from the future life. Say your name from a future life so it can go from the future and speak to you about the things you need to do. Imagine that you are talking with yourself as a child. How charming that talk would be. You will teach that child everything that you know now you need to overcome, because this is you before you, just very small ones, with wrong desires, lies which that child believes you and that you are not anymore believing. There is a time sparring in which you can learn that child the true lessons that you accomplished. So expect how different lessons you will get from that selfhood from the future. Sometimes it will be wonderfully good things, sometimes not. If you come to yourself from the future and that yourself will told you that everything that you do in your life you need to drop and quit, will you listen to that self? It is very difficult. You are trying to see from that point of mind, will you remember? But in that sacred space, you will be not you as in this place. You will have instant bridge to some parts of a mind which I'm just using angels, time travel, everything as a mirror, so your selfhood can easily talk with yourself. Everything that we are speaking here, from teleport, invocations, inner temples, all this is just bullshit. But a way, a signal from your selfhood can appear before you so you can have intercourse with it. Live experience from that information. It is exactly like your monitor before you, sending the picture from me through electrical impulse, which is now restored in the picture of myself. So you are not seeing me before you. You are seeing electrical impulses which just looks like me. I am not before you, I am here. So it is the same in your dream. You are talking with only one spark of light all the time. From the lucid dreaming point when you are starting to rocking the chair, from the void, the blackness when you start to touch the surfaces of the walls, until this sacred space of your inner temple. It is the same space, but your mind gradually upgrade it, so finally you can realize the truth of what you are. We will speak about it later, especially when we talk about the astral projection and scrying technique, which are a little bit different than lucid dreaming, where you have a much better control of construction of a visual field and much deeper connection with your abilities to change the scenery, so you can give a much better command and travel much distance and deeper places than a dream. And unfortunately, it has some minuses, but we will speak about them next week when we will talk about the scrying and everything. About evocations and invocations. In the next 100 trying, don't try to speak the name of deceased. Not diseased, deceased, the dead people, not illness people. Not because it is scary, it is, but because in that period of time you will have this natural desire to talk with the people with whom you need to talk a little bit more, to have another cup of coffee so you can say something more which you don't have a time. And your mind, it's tricking you so it can control you through that picture. It will never be the picture of the ones who left this world. You know that. Everybody knows that, but still we talk with that people. It is natural feeling of us that we need to talk a little bit more from a time that we already waste in eternal break without any chance to speak a second of word more with that loved person who left us eternally. This would be nice, but not in the beginning. You need control. You need to learn the mechanism of everything that I speak. You need to build your selfhood energy and muscles of your inner self so you can fight with your own demons. Why? Because we are not expecting to see the dead ones before us. We expect to see the part of us who dies with them. This is something usually why we are sending the flowers to the funerals. Because regret, it's always much in bigger way stronger than love. The true motive for funeral flowers is regret, not love. And when you realize that, you will see how all our understanding of human life, it's like in human awakeness, in lucid dream, it's totally wrong. Because how can we expect to know what lucid dream is when we are not awake yet? How can we experience what the dead and dying when we don't know the rules of life in essence? You will see in your lucid dream so different pattern of your own mind that it will be like a different person inside of you. And you will start to ask yourself, if there is a one who is totally different from this one, how many in generality are there? Maybe 2, maybe 20, maybe billions. And in essence, in which of them it's me truly? In this or that? In lucid awareness or awakeness awareness? And you will start to ask yourself more and more and more, crushing reality and crushing your character, knowing that it is just a mechanism of neurotical neurological patterns in a brain. But you are not that. You're something in between. And realizing in lucid dream that you can talk with that between them part of your brain will give you so wonderful possibilities. Someone talk about playing the guitar or instruments. Yeah, of course. I, in lucid dream, when I was teenager, I still have it, and I can show it in my lucid dream. I build an action plan, so when I do one movement in a lucid dream, I can, I don't know in English how to say, when you are sneezing, you can sneeze, shit, piss, make orgasm, and eat favorite food in 1 second. You can have sensation of that. And believe me, try to have it in your lucid dream. The climaxes of all sensational enjoyment in 1 second. The best come, the best food, the best shit, and you know how it is nice when you go to house for a long time and your stomach is full, and when you go to toilet and when you feel so nice, when you go to piss, when you smell the best perfume, all sensations in 1 second. You can do it in lucid dream. Start to experiment. Start to do it in your own way. Find something which is unique and nobody yet tried. For about invocations, speaking to yourself from a past life, for me, have very specific aura and energy. And experience of speaking with yourself in past, it's much greater volume than speaking from the present. Because present is yet sensation of expectation, which is not realized on the real thing. Speaking with the past is speaking with something that you forget, but it was real in one moment, but it is forgotten meanwhile. So one is unreal expectation and other is real awakening of something which is asleeping all time. So it will give you a much better process for psychotherapy. See a lucid dream as a polygon for three-dimensional psychotherapy. Speak with yourself from the past lives. See how your own mind will create the death of yourself of the previous life. Try, go, remember the inner temple. When I draw the observatory, go to your telescope and observe last moment of your previous life. Watch the funeral. Watch and be present again to see the moment of your dying. It is, believe me, it is so strong that your mind will not give you ordinary death. It will give you special death, deserving only for you. It will be something which is most horrifying than you, for you. Maybe you will be burned alive. Maybe you will burn on fire. Yeah, maybe you will be flooded. I don't know. Everybody of us have expectations of what is horrible, and your mind will give you that. believe me how wonderful you will sense when you experience something which you need to experience but don't have possibility. How can you be buried alive when there is no way that you can be buried unless you are dead in real time? Experience how is it impossible to felt to be at the bottom of the ocean, drowned, because there is no way you can drown yourself. In lucid dreaming, your selfhood can give you scenario which will move you in a right way you need. Now, I always talk about drastically and very difficult moment for realizing, because I want you just now to motivate you so you can see how disturbance can cause. But in reality, there are very few disturbant experiences. Your selfhood will give you right enough how much you need and exactly how much you can have so you can progress. It will be like in gym. You will have weight, so you will sense a pain in your muscle, but enough pain and enough weight so your muscle can get wider and stronger. It will be perfect lever, and your selfhood already know the perfect balance, because there is no ego censor, there is no fear, so you can block what you needed. There is no fear from death. Make the action plan. Think about the death you have most fear about. Airplane crash, train crash, death of your children, maybe. Maybe it is not your death. Pass it through lucid dream. Let me see how you are brave. Can you handle it? Virtual reality of insanity, fear, and you are walking through it. How strong you will be in the end when you return from that experience, knowing that you pass it, that you survived. And in the end that you say, no matter how much I lose, I am get more experience. No matter how fear I felt, now I am liberated because I don't feel fear. The only way you can stop feeling a fear is to push through that fear. You cannot have, if you have fear from water, you cannot bypass that fear from your apartment. You need to go in the water to fear that fear inside yourself so it can pass, it can stop. Nobody knows when it will stop, but little by little you are giving yourself experiences which will liberate you. A lucid dream is a way so you can reach a liberation, which eventually can lead you to final liberation. That is just my theory. I'm not liberated. Quite the contrary. I feel more frightened now when I saw some things which existed, and even more, those which I believe exist. Now I realize the old time they didn't realize and exist at all. How you can handle that truth, it is sometimes more wonderful than all flying invocation, tantric sex, fuck in your lucid dream in general. I am starting to build and learn you how you can learn in your dream more. What is the real experience you need? There is a special, very, very special experience which most of practitioners of lucid dreaming and astral projection are calling. We have different tapes of this idea: the shadow, the demon at the threshold, the eternal fear, sleeping paralysis, and all phantom is all it's succubus and so on. And we will speak with that entity, which is, once you will you will meet it, you will never forget it. And so horrible and so fearful inside of your lucid dream, which can move your being in so magnificent point that it is a part of action plan you need to have. Not in the beginning, but after a couple of times, and we will talk about it later. How can you use it? Time it's going, and I want to talk about materialization of your wish. I think we will have enough time. Now it is 5 o'clock, 5 and 10. I think we will need time until 7. I know it is much, but if not, we can have another week. But now it's special time. I'm only using this so I can prepare you how you can materialize your dreams into this reality, because you know it is not a dreams at all. You just think they are dreams because scientists and books are just giving a sign, a name, that they are dreams. But in fact, they are a kind of reality which is the same real as this real place. There is no distinction between the place of a dream than place of a real world. There is only you who make that distinction. And that is exactly why most of people simply cannot have their dreams fulfilled. Because, unfortunately, in the very start, they put a wrong thing. They name them as a dreams. And we know that dreams cannot get fulfilled. From the first moment, and we realize that in the first talk of our webinar, we are the ones who are putting the reality on unhealthy legs. And we are the ones who are stopping the mechanism of fulfillment, the joy and happiness in our life, who are crucial for our own misery. Not the God or the destiny, but the mechanism of our selfhood, who want everything to be under the control so we can eat, drink, shit, fuck in peace. And unfortunately, we can eat, shit, drink, fuck, but we are never in peace. That's the problem. That's the problem. The peace, it's not in all this doing. Peace is the attainment of the soul, something which is a true path, not something which we need to pay so we can have a bill for it and we can have a guarantee, so we can maybe in 1 year call the agency and say, I want to complain, my happiness is not longer achieving, I want to reclaim this project, so bring back my happiness again. This is not the way it is done. 5 or 10 minutes break so we can talk about the shadow and some things which is a part of my way of doing, how I materializing my desires and wish. Name it whatever you want, but please don't feel shame to speak that you will materialize your dreams. Because even now, as you listen to me, you felt a disturbance. Because for you, it is impossible. When I say that, yes, I have a mechanism that whatever I have lucid dream, I can materialize. There is objection in your mind. there is a little guy who are saying, no, no, objection, this is not possible. Don't listen to him, this is impossible. We will learn how it is possible. 10 minutes break after commercial, okay?